You know, as soon as I saw you, I was actually watching the stream for the first minute before you came on here. How do I like your suit? I don't like it, and we're gonna get into why I don't like it.
Wait. What's wrong with my suit?
What's there to like about your suit?
What the? I thought we were cool, bro.
We are very cool. You know, I'll be perfectly honest with you, Shneako. This is the first time we've ever actually conversed, so your viewers are in for a bit of a treat.
We have little voice chats back and forth.
Yeah, little voice chats back and forth. But I was first introduced to you about a month or two ago. So okay. I don't have TikTok, as everyone knows, but people keep tagging me in TikTok saying 3 men who are changing the world, 3 men who are changing boys into men, 3 men who are changing the face of masculinity. And they tag me, and they tag my brother, and then they tag you.
Nice.
So I was like, who is this guy? And then someone sends me a clip of you talking about how all suits are the same. Now, I agree with a lot of what you're talking about, and I really think you're a smart guy for your age. But all suits are the same? What's next? Are all watches the same? Are all cars the same? These tell time cars get from A to B. They're not all the same, bro.
Okay, but this is coming from a brokey. This is coming from a brokey. I don't have a bunch of suits. The only time I wore suits was for graduation and prom. You know, I'm 23. I don't be going to business meetings on a regular basis. But come on, you gonna tell me that I can't get married in this?
When I was 23, I didn't know shit about suits either. So I'll put that out there so everyone knows that I'm not trying to pull the moral high ground on you. No, if you wore that to prom, look, the lapel's wrong, man. You got a notched lapel. That's a business suit. You need to have a peaked lapel if you're trying to be fashionable.
What the fuck is a lapel? What are you talking about?
That, yeah. It needs to flare out more. And the way your shirt sits underneath it is just, you know what? I should have worn a suit myself, but I didn't think we were going to get into this. So it's midnight in Bucharest. I thought, let me just wear a t-shirt and let's have some civil discussion and not bring the suit thing up.
I don't even want to wear it anymore. How do you think that we're 3 men changing? I see a lot of people tag that in those posts too. How exactly do you think we're changing the future generation of men? Do you think they're right?
Well, because I've grown up with my brother my whole life and we've always lived together and bounced our opinions off of each other, I didn't realize anything me or Andrew said or thought or our views on relationships or women were really that outlandish. But the way that he's blown up recently, and I've blown up subsequently, has shown me that a lot of people are just, lost because the accusations that come at me and Andrew of being misogynist or mean or cruel aren't really that accurate. I like to think that I promote a very healthy male-female sexual dynamic and relationship dynamic. It's just the whole world's gone so crazy that what I think is healthy isn't healthy anymore.
Yeah, they really hate you. They really hate you. They're preying on your downfall. I think the craziest part is that if you died, they would celebrate. Like there would be people throwing a parade. Like I think in the liberal cities, there'd be people going out and jumping around.
Absolutely.
But if the reverse happened, that wouldn't be the same result. And I think that really says a lot.
No, it does. But unlucky for them, I'm hard to kill. So I don't die easily. I've never died once. So I'm gonna keep that going year by year.
What do you know that the average person does not understand about the elites? I often talk about conspiracy theories and I try to talk about like the stuff that's really going on, but you're really wealthy and you've probably been introduced to a lot of ideas and concepts and people who pull strings behind the scenes that the average person doesn't know. What's something that you understand that most people don't?
We're getting into the deep questions already. See, I was unprepared for this, but I'm happy to answer you. I'll be perfectly honest. I do not get introduced to the people who you're talking about because money isn't the only way into that club. I sometimes describe myself when I'm in rich circles as I'm not a rich man. I'm a poor man with a lot of money. I don't have the right parents. I don't have the right political background. I don't have the right education. I didn't go to the right school. Regardless of the fact that I can buy the same stuff they can buy, I'm not in their club. I'm not in their circles. My knowledge on how the elite get around the rules, how the elite live differently, how money buys power is all personal to me. The things I can do now that I've made money. And I just know that these people are doing it 100 times bigger than me because they've got a lot more friends, a lot more connections. But essentially, the rules don't apply to rich people. They just don't.
I'm not trying to call you one of the elites. I don't think you are.
I know.
What do you know about like what's going on behind the scenes? What do you know about the truth about power? Like one of the messages that I talk about in my stream a lot is that everything is a lie and everything in front of it. Like most things are a scam. Whenever you get scared about something, there's usually somebody making money and profiting off of it. And then like last night I was watching a 9/11 documentary for like 4 hours, and then everyone was realizing like, oh shit, maybe they really lied about all this. Maybe this is really all manipulation. Is there something that you know that the average person doesn't know?
You know what? No, there's nothing I know that you don't know. If you're a switched on individual and you like to look at what's going on in the world from various news sources, from independent of all news sources, and use your own eyes and ears, and you've lived around the world and you've traveled around the world like I have, I mean, mine and my brother's understanding of all of this isn't because we have money. It's just because we've seen the world. I mean, I live on the border of Ukraine right now, and I don't want to get your stream taken down by talking about, the Russia-Ukraine thing, but that's what's happening at the moment. And let me just tell you, this whole Putin's an evil dictator who invaded our country, that is not the narrative of a lot of the Ukrainians who are crossing the border into Romania. They're mad at the United States.
Wait,
And
so,
there's a video of me on my Instagram driving up to the border to deliver coats, shoes, clothes, food to the women and kids coming across. But some leftist liberal in the United States will tell me that I'm wrong about the Ukraine situation, which is hilarious because I'm actually hearing it from the Ukrainians coming across the border.
do you think that there's a spiritual warfare?
Yeah, I think there is. I feel like living in the religious country that I do, being a Christian myself, let he who's without sin cast the first stone. I'm not going to say I'm a perfect Christian, but spiritual warfare, yeah, I look at the spread of atheism. I was an atheist for a long time.
Yeah, me too.
You may be, but you know what?
I believe in God now. I'm not religious, but I do believe in God.
Fair enough. And you know what? I believe smart people are smart enough to be atheists. But I look at every society where you take religion away and the behavior of the low IQ and dumb people within that country, and I can't describe it as anything else but Satanism.
Yeah.
Like, it is literally a fight between good and evil. So me and Andrew have a lot of allies and friends in the Muslim world, in the Christian world, in the church. And, I know some very smart atheists, but sadly, not every atheist is as smart as they are. And the moment they give up their religion, they fill it with, abortion and just pure, what's the word I'm looking for? Degeneracy.
Yeah. That's what's happening in New York right now. I live in New York City. Just the stuff that they celebrate. The people are just dancing around and jumping, and they're saying, shout, yell your abortions. They're proud of it. They have parties about it. No, for real. I would think I left the Catholic Church when I was young. I grew up as a Catholic, and then now I find myself returning to God because of exactly what you're saying. The amount of degeneracy going on, the stuff that people worship. The Pride Parade, I don't know if you don't have that in fucking Romania. Here, there's literally people dressed up in like BDSM masks, and they have their fetish kinks on, and there's guys with their dicks out, and then moms are bringing their kids like, look, Timmy, this is woke, this is good, and like they think that it's progressive to show their kids this because we've brainwashed people into thinking that showing gay people is making you a progressive parent. And to me, that's just complete degeneracy. You're bringing a 3-year-old kid at a fucking fetish event in the park, and so now I find myself returning to God just for that reason. It's a little bit difficult for me to fully believe it because I think organized religion is mostly for, like what you said, for people to have something to follow. But it feels a little bit forced. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
no, I do know what you mean. But I mean, we don't really have the gay pride parades here in Romania. But any kind of, I mean, okay, so the argument against the gay pride parades in Romania that they use is, homosexuality is outlawed by the Bible, etc. Well, to be honest, premarital sex is outlawed by the Bible. Multi-partner sex is outlawed by the Bible. But again, heterosexual men who like to sleep with lots of women, or heterosexual women who like to sleep with lots of men, they don't get a parade. So, like, the fact that anything that deviates from the Bible gets special treatment, to me, is what's insane. Because I don't think we should have a heterosexual gangbang pride parade and have all the guys who like, having sex with women en masse parading down the street in front of kids either. For me, it's not about gay or straight. It's just about what's appropriate to have on your city streets and what's not. And I think the Romanians kind of see it that way as well. But
we've completely removed that, and the West is getting, I don't know how in tune you are with everything, but now there's gender affirming therapists. Kids are in 12 going on puberty blockers. In school, they're telling kids like you can choose your gender. They're really pushing a lot of this like trans agenda and the LGBT agenda in public schools and with therapy. Like the cartoons that these kids watch, it's really disgusting. And I've been watching a lot of it on my stream and telling people if they live in America in like a liberal city, take your kids out of school and homeschool them.
just in the same way that a lot of the most intelligent views on the BLM movement come from African Americans and my American family members, the best take on the LGBTQ plus community came from a gay guy who I know. I went to school with him as a kid in the United Kingdom. I've known him my whole life. His name is Mark. He's a very good friend of mine. He said, "Look,
Shut up,
I
Mark.
don't like LGBTQ. I'm just G." And I said, why? Like, I could have guessed reasons, but I was like, why, Mark? Why don't you like LGBTQ? He says, because I'm a homosexual man who goes home to my bedroom and has sex with the people I want to have sex with. You, Tristian Tate, go home to your bedroom and have sex with the people you have sex with. But when Tristian Tate says, I don't think you should be transitioning children into the opposite sex using surgery and hormone blockers, they can label me as anti-LGBTQ as though I have any problem with Mark and what he does.
Right.
And that was one of the smartest anti-LGBTQ arguments I've ever heard.
And if you think about it,
and like I said,
why do L and G, why are they separate words? Because aren't lesbian women also gay? Can't you just call it H?
yeah, I mean, you can.
Does pussy ever get old?
Well, are you talking about, does having sex with women ever get old, or does an individual pussy get old itself?
Pussy, because yes, it obviously does. But eventually, like you call yourself an international playboy, like you have a lot of women in your posts. Like, does it get old ever?
I believe that sexual relations or sex. I believe that sex is a lot like food or being hungry. You have to enjoy it within a healthy limit, because people do become sex addicts, just like people can become anorexics or obese when they become obsessed with something that I think you need to live a healthy and happy life. No, I don't think it's ever going to get old. I don't think that a man will ever get
like being. Is there any part of you that's like, oh, maybe I want to settle down and have a nice woman who challenges me? Do you ever get like the monogamy, like wife, like does that ever?
Well, I understand the settling down, and I understand finding a nice woman. I have friends who have settled down with nice women, but there's nothing challenging about those women. Those women are complementary to your lifestyle. And to say I've never had a girl like that, or that I don't have a girl like that right now, would be a lie. You know, some of the best women that I know and some of the happiest relationships I've had with women weren't based solely around sex. Yeah, I have sex with them, but they were just pleasant people to be around in every single way. And that's the opposite of challenging. So no, you'll never get bored of female company if you look for the right types of women. I believe that high quality women really do exist, and if you have one or two or some of them in your life, it's an absolutely wonderful experience. Women add a lot to life. I always say they're the icing on the cake. Every experience is better when there's women. You're going out for dinner with your friends, there's beautiful women around, it's better. You're going for a drive through the mountains, you're next to some 10 out of 10 blonde Ukrainian chick, it's just better. Women make everything better.
Yeah.
So I'm the opposite of a guy who hates women. I think they're the best thing about life. So no, I never get bored of women.
I guess the question is monogamy just a lie? Because sometimes, like, I like open, like having multiple, but I guess the pressure and like other people telling me, oh, you need a nice girl to settle. When I hear the word settle down, you think of monogamy. Is monogamy all a myth for men?
No, because it depends on the man. I believe if you're a charged man with a lot of testosterone in your system, monogamy is a myth, but it depends what you consider monogamy, because I would say that you are not truly monogamous if you have the sexual desire to sleep with other women. So these dudes would be like, yeah, I've got my wife. I've only been with my wife for the last 25 years. And you look in their internet history and it's filled with porn and webcam websites and OnlyFans. I'm like, how monogamous are you really?
Yeah.
I mean, I know that you only have sex with your wife, but the fact that you desire so many other women surely shows and demonstrates that this idea of monogamy is unnatural to you. Because if you really felt this way, you wouldn't be lusting over other women at all. And find any single man who's in one of these, completely happy monogamous relationships. And I'm not saying they don't exist, because I bet some do. But I've yet to meet that guy who doesn't lust over other women.
They're cheating.
Yeah.
They found a way to cheating. And you've dealt with simps professionally with your webcam business. A lot of people have this misconception that it's trafficking. There's a bunch of bullshit. But you've dealt professionally with simps. Like working around them, kind of treating it like you use women as crack and you're the crack dealer. My question is, wait, you don't like that analogy?
No. I do like the analogy. I was just
Okay.
going to explain very briefly exactly what I was doing for all the people watching who don't know who
I
I
think
am.
most of them know. We have a pretty big overlap of audience. I think all my audience knows. But if you want to explain it,
Well, I mean, a very quick analogy I would say is, if you know girls who do OnlyFans, you probably know lots. You live in the United States.
Yeah.
Ask how many work for a management agency.
most of them.
Half, 70%.
Most of them. They have a guy that does all the messages and everything.
I was running a company that did that before OnlyFans existed. So that's the most simple way I can break it down. So all the people, as you said, who said, oh, they made their money kidnapping people or trafficking people. I mean, it's totally ridiculous. I was just one of the pioneers in the e-girl management industry. That's essentially what I was doing, and that's how I made a lot of money. But yeah, I've dealt with simps professionally for many years. I'm no longer in that industry, just for the record.
I know. Do you have any guilt with it now? Because I would say most of the guys that watch your stuff are maybe like former simps or people trying to better themselves. You have a lot of people, whether or not like you really are trying to garner that audience, a lot of people that watch you are trying to improve and get motivated by your message. Do you have any guilt for the fact, like, I kind of like compare it to crack dealers. Like, crack dealers is like, they're not trying to ruin people's lives, like, but ultimately the person you should blame is like the politicians who started the war on drugs. And they always like have that analogy in movies about drugs of like, should the drug dealer feel guilty? I'm wondering if you feel any guilt about that, but I could see that you don't.
Well, I don't. And the answer is because, to be honest, over half the people who use webcamming websites use them in a very healthy way. There are people who would, want interactive live naked chat with a girl who were injured veterans, people who were in unhappy marriages, and they really got something good out of it. They had a positive experience out of it. There are people who were addicts and really went down the rabbit hole and destroyed themselves. But I'm no sorrier for them than the Cuban man who rolled this fine cigar is for me if I were to contract mouth cancer later on in life. People are responsible for themselves. People make their own choices, and you can't police addiction by taking your product off the market or by closing your store down. If an alcoholic comes to your bar every day and orders 2 bottles of vodka, drinks himself to death, and goes home and beats his wife, closing your restaurant isn't going to help that man. No. He's going to find his vodka somewhere else. He's going to continue his problem, and you're going to end up broke. It's just money that's going elsewhere. So no, I don't regret it. It's part of my origin story. It's something that I wouldn't get involved with today simply because I don't need to. But the industry is full of happy, healthy, rich people. I mean, the girls are happy, the managers are happy. There's very little violence in that industry. Women are by themselves. They're safe. They're in a room by alone. It's not like working at a strip club.
The women are safer, but the men are sadder. And men, the overall level of mental health for men has declined as the women become safer working in sex work. I'm going to ask you, like, what do you know about male nature working with these simps and seeing the rapid decline? Because you don't seem like a social media guy. But now the only time I can see you've been spending on social media is to use it for your business. You've always been kind of on the outside of it. Most of the people watching this chat, they've been like addicted scrolling all day and they use it for entertainment. You've kind of stepped out of it, and with what you're doing now and what you were doing with the webcam business, you were working on the outsides. So I think you have an outside perspective on social media and the way most people's brains work that people don't have. What perspective do you have on male nature because of working in the webcam business, and what perspective do you have on social media being on the outside as an influencer who just stepped into this recently?
Well, I can answer the question. I can answer both questions simultaneously.
Okay.
I feel like the world, even as young as you are, you're 24?
About to be 20, I'm 23, about to be 24.
23. Even as young as you are, you can barely remember a world where social media didn't exist. I'm a lot older than you. I'm 10 years older than you.
Yeah.
So I feel like the digitalization of all relationships, whether it be between your friends, between people who want to talk like me and you right now, between men and women, because it's become so overly digitalized, that's what's driving men into what we would call simping. Let's not pretend that phone sex didn't used to exist. You remember what that was? You ever heard of that? People would call up these lines and have girls talk dirty to them. Porno magazines, people were booking escorts and hookers for as long as human history has gone back. But the thing is, the digitalization of all relationships has made these young men who, have never talked to a woman in real life outside of school. And even then, a lot of the chat gets done on Instagram and WhatsApp. When they want to meet some 10 out of 10 Russian girl who's perfect looking, they don't think I better go to Moscow, put on a nice suit, go to the bar, buy a drink, talk to the girl, etc. They don't think that. They're like, oh, if I go on this website, I can see her, and it blurs the lines between what's real and what isn't. So I feel like the social media addiction is what's driving, this simp addiction, as you'd say, because they don't know another way of interacting with people at all.
And have you seen that decline happen? Have you seen the shift in how men think in real time?
Absolutely. I've absolutely seen it, because when I first got involved in this industry, and I wasn't planning on talking about this, but I'm an open book. When I first got involved in this industry, a lot of the clients were, the unhappily married. This is now 10 years ago. The unhappily married guys, the guys in their, late 20s, had a bit of money, wasting their time on the internet to escape their unhappy relationship, or, at their office. And up until I retired just a few years back, the audience was consistently getting younger and younger and younger. 18, 19, 20, 21. The core audience for this are the young men, because they're the ones who are lost. They're the ones who are now completely out of the sexual marketplace in terms of sexual market value. All they've got is the money from the job that they're working, and they don't know how to interact with people any other way than this. So, yeah, I saw it in real time.
Do you think that it's something intentional from people at the top? Do you think intentionally people at the top are trying to make men weaker with social media, and they're trying to empower women to destroy the family from the inside out?
Well, yes. Quick answer, yes. I believe that it was originally an unintended consequence of industries like this, making men weaker, making men more pathetic. But, the people at the top, they don't squeeze men by creating webcamming websites or by launching OnlyFans. That's all done by private entrepreneurs. But the laws that, restrict men in their marriages, their choices for after they get married, for divorce, their right to keep their home, the right to see their kids, those are the laws being passed by the people at the top that further drive men into this. So I don't think it's being done on purpose, and like it's being designed to get men hooked on this to weaken the family. I think that the family's being weakened so much, and a man's position of power is being compromised so much, that it drives men further down this rabbit hole that was created by private business and private industry.
You don't think that they're just trying to take away as much power as possible? You don't think that, like with the last 2 years of the pandy telling us to stay inside and manipulating female empathy so that we have to cover our face and get a jet, you don't think all of that was just all a plan to make us weaker and just to give us more control and to make us and stay inside more?
That absolutely was. The question I was answering was, do I think that the webcam industry, OnlyFans, the pornography, do I think that's a psyop to make men weaker? No, I think that's just the refuge that men run to.
It's a bigger question. Do you think that there's an intentional effort from the people at the top to make us weaker and ruin the family?
Absolutely there is. Absolutely there is.
Why are they trying to do that? Like, and who's behind it?
Okay, who's behind it is a trickier question than why are they trying to do that. Why are they trying to do that? It's the same reason they've always done it. For all of human history, if a civilization invaded enemy territory and took over their lands, they would kill all the fighting age males. Killing them was the easiest way to get rid of them. Now you can't just straight up kill all the men who might throw a revolution against you. Kill all the men who might, pick up a gun and walk to the capital and think, you know what, we have to do something about this government. But what you can do is you can pussify them. You can make them so weak, so dependent on porn, video games, because you've crushed their hope of meeting a woman in the real world. You've crushed their hope of getting married and having a family and supporting them on one job and having a wife that's loyal and obedient. So many men need a war, and so many men are at war with their partner, with their sexual partner, with the woman who they're supposed to love. That's their war. They go home and argue with their wife every night. They sleep on the couch. They scream, they shout, they go to their job to get the next paycheck. That's the war that they're engaged in, and they're so engaged that they can't look elsewhere at who their real enemy is. But this is no more than, I say, billionaires don't care about race. They don't care about color. They don't care about gender. If a female Chinese billionaire and a black African billionaire and a white American billionaire all walk into a room, they're all good. They're all cool. They speak money. This is just another way of dividing people on a lower level. So it goes beyond just man and wife and men and women, which is why the media, I think, is so spun so negatively against me and Andrew. I try to empower young men to stay away from toxic people. I'm not talking about toxic women. I will say 9 times on a podcast, look, if your friends are sitting around smoking drugs, if your friends, your male friends, are losers, if your male friends have no ambition, if your male friends are fat and overweight and keep you from going to the gym, stay away from them. And then on the same podcast once I'll say, yeah, if you have a girl, if you have a woman who, you know, is trying to control you and is overeating and is lazy and doesn't like you going to the gym and is a bit of a slob, you need to cut her off. And it's, oh my God, Tristian's misogynistic. It's selective hearing. I'm trying to teach young men to stay away from low quality people, men and women, male and female. But they'll soundbite the bits where I talk about low quality women, because low quality people of all races, genders, sexes, they exist. And you need to stay away from all of them.
That's what I've learned when I started streaming is when you talk about the bigger issues and you try to talk about things that are really going on. And overall, I think I have a positive message. Like, I think that people can construe me as a misogynist. Like, they tell me to go to therapy. They call me an incel. And they will pick and choose the same thing. They'll pick and choose sound bites and reasons to cancel me instead of looking at the overall message. I'm trying to tell people to follow God. I'm trying to tell people about the spiritual warfare that's going on. I'm trying to tell people that we need to have a good, strong family and that they're trying to ruin that. But instead, they will try to cancel me. They'll try to like pick words and call me homophobic. And I've realized that people will adamantly defend the matrix rather than try to question it. And so people like you, and then even people like me, like as a result, they'll try to kill the messenger. They will attack you instead of try to attack the bigger problem. And that seems really closed-minded to me. And it's opened up my mind to how many people will like strongly defend the matrix that they're in rather than try to ever think outside of the box. Because when they start to question it and they start to realize that everything is programmed against them, they get angry. And the frustrating part, and I don't know how you deal with it, the frustrating part is that they choose the messenger rather than the message.
Yeah, and you know, I'm very lucky. As I said, I'm hard to kill. So people coming for me and Andrew, it's not new. Like, it's new on the internet. But, you know, I've had enemies before. I've lived in bad parts of the world before. So, like, people coming at me with stupid messages on the internet and, you know, releasing articles about me, calling me one thing or another, it really doesn't bother me. But it's not hurtful. It's just disappointing.
Yeah.
You're like, guys, open your eyes. When I say, you know, when I say don't be a brokey, learn how to make some money, level up, you know, it's not about money necessarily. It's about, I believe if you're a young man in this world and you don't have your financial situation together and you're not part of the top 1%, then you're not going to attract the top 1% women. You're not going to meet the women with low body counts who want to love you and start a family with you. If you stay a low quality man, you're going to meet a low quality woman, start a low quality family, and have a low quality life. But I say it in an abrasive way, and people will cut clips of me or my brother saying, oh, you know, don't be broke, make some more money. You know, you don't want to be a broke, you don't want to be a loser. But I'm not trying to upset anyone. I'm just trying to show people the way that I think is to a better life and a more productive, more healthy, more happy life. But
it's not what you say, it's how you say it. You say it like you're broke. And like, to me, that's has motivated me since I started finding your videos and the Tate speech, all the emergency meetings. I've been watching it, and at first I watched it. You could see, like, you probably saw my first reaction to your podcast. At first I was like, you were wearing this is a $10,000 suit. Like, not all suits are the same. And I'm like, oh, this guy's so materialistic, blah, blah, blah. But then I kept listening and I realized the message was like, yo, this guy's way richer than me, has more life experience, as a successful fighter. Why am I going to sit here and cry and try to cancel him? I always wanted to be a fighter growing up. I grew up wanting to be a boxer, and I was told that was a violent tendency and I wasn't able to pursue that. And now I'm 23 and it's never going to happen. So
boxing keeps you non-violent. Boxing keeps you non-violent.
It's a good place to release that aggression. It's a good place to teaches you discipline and everything. I've been going to a gym now, but I didn't get to do it when I was a kid. It is what it is. And so instead of listening to you and getting mad all the time, I kept listening like, okay, they clearly know more than me. Why am I going to get angry at this? I want to start changing my life. I want to become better. At the time when I first started watching Tate's speech, and the emergency meetings, I was like still smoking weed every day. I wasn't, I was doing okay. I hit 1 million subscribers on my main channel, but I was just getting into streaming, and I was like still kind of lazy and everything. And that kind of like lit a fire in my head. And I was like, yo, I really got to step up my game. Like, it's either now or never. Time is money. And since then, like, I've had the most successful month I've had. I've cut out, like, I don't make excuses anymore. I'm talking to more millionaires. I'm putting myself in the right circle. And I know, and what I want to show, because you already blew up as a millionaire. I blew up as a brokey. Like, I still have, I had a good month and I could finally pay off my student loans. So what the chat's going to see and what people are going to see who watch me is my transition into becoming a multi-millionaire. And I've been saying it every stream, like, I'm broke. I'm a fucking brokey, but watch me. Clip this again in a year. Someone post this on TikTok in a year when I'm a multi-millionaire. And if they see me, and when they do see me make that transition, it's gonna be like, yo, he did it right in front of our eyes. And I am in the same exact position. So, my fault. They could choose to hate, or they could choose to change their life.
That speech you just gave about, I'm not smoking weed, I'm attacking the gym, I care more about money, I'm networking better because I've been watching you and Andrew. That is 99% of the feedback I get about what me and Andrew teach. It's just the people who talk shit about us are louder than those people. I'll get a private message saying, look, man, you changed my life. I was dealing badly with this. I was dealing badly with that. Now everything's much better. It's back on track. I mean, you gave me a similar speech just 1 second ago, and that makes me smile. It really makes me happy to think that I have something to teach young men. And the people who hate me are just louder than all of those people.
And the people that hate you are kind of feminine. The people that hate you are kind of feminine, because like ultimately what men need is like a tough older brother figure. Someone to be like, yo, keep your head up, pussy. You acting like a bitch. I had one. You're acting like a bitch. Wake the fuck up. Someone to punch you. We don't need to be sitting in therapy talking about our feelings to get better. We need to say, get up. That's how we get motivated. The people that are loud and hate you, gay people, triggered feminists, fat men who don't want to improve.
They've given up. They've already given up.
You can categorize your haters, and they're the same as the people who hate me. They're people who gave up. And that's why it doesn't make me mad. And you all look the same. If I asked like L3 Productions or the L3 podcast, I saw the H3 for you. If I asked Ethan Decline, all his audience to post a selfie, they would all look exactly the same. Green hair, overweight, they, them. So it's like, why am I going to get mad at these people? It's the difference between the people like you and the people like Lasanabi and Ethan Decline is the difference between ambition and complacency. You're promoting ambition, and we're seeing the results. People do not want to change their life. People would rather stay in the position that they're in. Whereas Lasanabi and Ethan Decline, they're promoting complacency. It's okay. It's fine this way. Everything sucks. This is bad. It's an echo chamber. But
I saw a TikTok of him recently saying, hey, Andrew, I may be fat and blah, blah, but I have a wife. A woman chose me. And that one line, I just thought, a woman chose me. When you're a man at the top, you get to choose the women that you want to be with. A woman chose you. Well done. Like his dynamic is so wrong, even in that one line, which is one of the only things I've ever heard this guy say, by the way. So when you say I don't have social media, I don't have a TikTok account.
Neither do I.
I don't have a TikTok account. I'm not that big in consuming social media because I feel like my use for social media is I feel like I have a good message to put out there. So I concentrate on content creation rather than content consumption. But yeah, you're right. Everybody who has a problem with me or my brother looks exactly the same way. And I think they've given up to the point where it's easier to attack us and say that we're wrong because no matter... Ethan could never become me. It's done. His ship has sailed. He's at least 15 years older than me. He looks it for sure. He could never be me or Andrew. So better to keep his audience, keep his people happy, keep making his money from his super chats. But these people have made us famous. They don't understand that they were our greatest weapon. When I say they're the loudest voice, yeah, you do some videos on us, cool, and I appreciate the spike. But when I see little spikes in traffic in YouTube and my Instagram blowing up, I'm like, okay, who's made a hit piece on me? And they'll be like, oh, this guy's made a hit piece on you. I'll look at the picture. I'll be like, yeah, well, no surprise. Thanks for, your audience. Because not everyone watching them has given up. They may be fat, they may be lazy, they may be complacent, but 10% of the people watching think, oh, you know what, that Tate guy, actually, he has something positive to say. Ooh, maybe I'll give his channel a browse. Maybe I'll subscribe to him. Maybe I'll join the Hustlers University program. Maybe I'll try to educate myself on what these people know because I don't want to be like the guys I'm watching on YouTube. So I steal their audience, and they've made us so famous, and that makes them so mad, and they have nothing else to do but continue to make us famous. They still talk about us all the time. The worst thing you could do for me, for all these guys out there, is just stop saying my name everywhere.
They can't help it.
They can.
It's kind of like how Trump won the election in 2016. All the mainstream media, all the same demographic of people could not stop talking about Trump. And they didn't realize that by saying his name over and over again, the silent majority was like, oh, okay, this Trump guy, he's an outsider. He's not like the rest of them. So the more they tried to hit piece, eventually he won the fucking election. What started off as a joke, somebody that was just like, and it's pretty much the exact same thing with your rise to fame. And it's a way to navigate around cancel culture. So many of my YouTube contemporaries, they get so afraid. Like, I'll be at a party and then there's a spike in the cove, so they can't post a video for 2 weeks because they don't want their audience to be like, why weren't you wearing a mask and staying at home? You were at a party during a spike. And so they need to they need to navigate around cancel culture. But I encourage a lot of the people, the new content creators, to just don't give a fuck about that, because it might hurt your feelings a little bit seeing the hate comments, but it's better to just let them be mad about you, because it's, if you know, you know. The people who really resonate with the message will see the people crying and complaining and realize the truth.
Yeah, and the love is so much greater than the hate as well. People say, how do you deal with the negative comments? I'm like, one, it doesn't bother me, but for every one I get, for every one stupid message I get 9 positive ones. You know, saying, hey man, you helped me give up weed. You helped me. Now I do push-ups in between TV commercial breaks. That's a trick that I spoke about 5 years ago when no one knew who I was. But people are going through my old
meeting. When I watch emergency meeting on the stream, I'll immediately be like, yo, 30 push-ups right now, chat. And like, I'll just yell at my chat. 30 push-ups go right into your video again.
Yeah, I mean, it's these are all tricks and tips and.
Or CEO on the platform. What were we talking about? Damn, I feel like we were picking up steam with that convo.
Yeah, I don't know exactly where we cut off. I was in the middle of a sentence, and then by the time I finished, you
chat. Where were we, chat? Can you help us out? I have more questions though.
Hit me, anything. Ask me anything. I'm an open book, bro. What's
better, the pussy or the validation?
Neither. I don't think that you would do that for any reason. You know, if I ever in the past talked about, you know, how many beautiful women I can get, I feel like I'm still trying to, again, inspire young men to a healthier way of life, because to find anything good. So let's say you want to become an expert on apples. This is an example I've used before. If you pick up the first apple you've ever tried in your life, bite it and like it, and you think, oh, this is good. I feel like to know what a good apple is and what a bad apple is, you have to try a variety of different apples. So I don't advocate it as a lifestyle. I don't think guys in their 40s, late 30s, even my age, should be aimlessly running around chasing women just to have sex with them or just for the validation. I feel like as a young man, it's smart to play the field, certainly, because you've probably had some bad apples in your life. You probably found some good apples, but now, next girl you meet, you'll know what kind of quality woman she is. I believe it teaches you. It's an educational process. So no, the validation isn't part of it. And the sex is just, let's say, a bonus of it. But I believe female company is, you know, one of the best things in the world. Man, you're sick in bed. You don't want your boys looking after you. Your girlfriend comes and brings you soup and fucking brings a wet cloth and puts it on your head. Women who love you and care about you is the goal. That's the goal, not the validation or the sex. And when you have a woman who loves you and cares about you, men seeing that is the ultimate validation. When guys come into my house and my girlfriend's like, would anyone like coffee? And make coffee for all my friends. Hey, Tristan, is there enough ice in your drink? That's the validation, not just the fact that she's hot. And when you find a woman like that, the great sex comes anyway. So no, I don't think you should be searching for either. I think you should be searching for a high quality woman in your life.
Yeah, I think I've been hearing you talk about that, and I was on Fresh and Fit. I know you've been on that podcast. I was on there like 6 times last week. They're dope. Shout out to Fresh and Fit. Yeah. I have made a realization the past couple of days. Like, I think I have a lot of like anger. I've been yelling a lot about women and about how women are brainwashed and how they're annoying and all believe in astrology and Kim Kardashian. I think I've been chasing low quality women, and I've just been like, just chasing hoes, you know.
When I was your age, I was chasing hoes too, my friends. So.
It gets so old. And they all sound the same, and it's a lot of putting up with the same fights, and they want you to. How are you able to distinguish a high quality woman from a low quality woman quicker? It's probably pretty easy. But how did you start chasing better women, or not even chasing, but just being with better women?
Just age and experience. You learn how to spot the red flags faster. And red flags are before she's even said a word. You look at a girl's Instagram and you know if she's a low quality or high quality woman, or you know if she has the potential to be a high quality woman. There are so many red flags that people overlook because women are hot. And I feel like it's not, look, you could do it today, but the truth is, and the same when I'm your age, so I'm not making fun of you. You're 23 years old. When I was 23 years old, a girl could come with a fucking truck of red flags, waving these red flags down the street. If she was a 10, I was going to try to sleep with her. Mm-hmm. I think you get over it from having done it. That's the only way. Because if you haven't done it, You will always be blinded by the beauty. So that's why playing the field and dating and meeting different women is an important part of a young man's life.
So
because
every man needs to womanize.
I don't even say womanize. I say play the field. And I mean, if you
Same thing.
just stay single for a while. Stay single for a while. See who walks in and out of your life. Don't try and commit to anything too big, especially when you're building your dreams. I mean, now I'm rich. It's easy to find a woman and be like, okay, yep, this is a good girl. I want to keep her around. But if you haven't made any money yet, you're still maybe living with your parents. You're not where you want to be. You're not driving the car you want. Obsessing over some woman, even if she is a high quality woman, could still drag you down. I'd like to think that she wouldn't, but the distraction factor is real. If you have a 10, even with 0 red flags, you want to stay home and have sex all day. You don't want to go out there and build your dreams, because what are you building for? Why are you building the nest if you've already attracted, what you want? So I don't think womanizing is the word.
They're the biggest time waster and the biggest distraction that you could have. It's like the biggest investment of everything. And I noticed that taking streaming seriously and taking my career seriously I've had to be kind of alone in here for the most part. I don't talk to my friends as much. My roommate's in there sleeping in the other room right now, watching the live stream on his phone. I haven't talked to him in a week. I just came back from Miami, and he's hearing this just based on this, is one of my closest friends. You really need to cut a lot of people off. I'm wondering how lonely is the journey to the top?
I am very fortunate. I don't know what loneliness feels like. And that's something that most men can't say. And it's why me and my brother, when we understood through meeting very good friends of ours who were married for 10 years, felt alone. Ex-military guys who felt that sense of brotherhood and loyalty and companionship in the army, or on their sports team, their college baseball team, their fraternity, their football team, and they lose it, and they balance all their happiness on one female, and they end up getting married, and they end up in these sad, lonely marriages. Those are the guys who opened my eyes to how special the relationship I have with my brother is. And that's what I try to tell the world as well. I don't know what loneliness feels like. I was born in a very underprivileged family. I grew up absolutely broke. I didn't have I wasn't dealt the best hand, but there was always an ace up my sleeve. So I don't know what that feels like. I've always had companionship. I've always had someone who had my back, someone to fight with me, someone to work with me in terms of my brother. So I'm not going to sit here and say that the journey to the top for me necessarily was lonely. But let me tell the young men out there, you need to be able to identify low quality friends and cut them off, and curate the people around you into a group of winners, a group of men who want to go out there and achieve the same things as you. And the journey to the top not only won't be lonely, but it will be far easier.
They say don't mix family and business, but that's all that you do. How is that possible? But that's a common saying that I've heard, and I've had that. I found it difficult. I have a younger brother myself, and we've kind of collided way more than it seems that you and your brother have collided in terms of business. I think eventually, me and my brother Vincent could work together well, but right now we're just he's in a different country. He's in college. He believes in a lot of the matrix stuff that I'm completely against. We don't think the same way, but it seems like you and Andrew have always thought exactly the same. Why are you able to mix family and business, but most people can't?
I don't believe that most people can't. I believe that some of the most successful men that I've ever met mix family and business. The people who own Walmart are family business. The elites, the billionaires at the top will say money doesn't buy happiness. Oh, don't mix family and business. What the fuck are you talking about? Who are you going to trust with your money, your finances, your cars, more so than your own brother? They're going to tell me not to team up with him and team up with some dude who might stab me in the back for a piece of pussy or a few dollars? No, absolutely mix family and business. I learned this. I'm going to go off on a tangent here. I learned this from a Muslim brother of mine, Bali, from Luton. He was a lawyer your age. He was your age when I was still completely broke. He was older than me, so I must have been maybe 19 at the time. And he was driving a Ferrari sometimes, a Rolls Royce sometimes. He was always rolling in style. Now, entry-level lawyer, 60, 70,000 pounds a year. I mean, I know he wasn't making that much money. I said, Bali, how do you manage to have these nice cars and shit when you're so young? You've only just passed the bar. How have you done it? And he said, look, his exact line was, even though I'm mixed race, he said, look, white people are stupid. But he didn't mean white people. What he meant was British people and the way British people conduct their family life. He said, me and my brothers all live in our family home. All of our money goes into extending and building our family estate. Our wives stay home and cook and clean and look after our children. And I'm a doctor. I'm a lawyer. My brother's a doctor. My other brother's an accountant. My dad's an engineer. My other brothers work in construction to help build the house. All of our resources are pooled, and we have one Ferrari, one Rolls Royce, one McLaren, and like 5 Toyotas that we can use whenever we like. And I thought, you know what? If I had 10 brothers, I'd take over the fucking world. And that was a real eye-opener for me. So the Muslim families don't mix family and business. They're all about it. And they're largely, especially in the United Kingdom where I'm from, far more successful than the white families, so the British families, where what they'll do is they'll have 5 sons. The 5 sons will go rent 5 houses, pay 5 different landlords, study 5 different completely unrelated things, fight for 5 jobs in different fields where they can't help but support each other, meet 5 different toxic women, support these 5 different women all independently outside of the family home. There is no unified family home. And then, by the time they're 45, it's like, oh, well, I've got a nice BMW now. Why are you trying to climb up there by yourself? Who but your brothers? Who but your family should you be teaming up with? I think it's total nonsense. So when you say they say, who is they? Who are they?
You know that's a saying. Everybody says don't mix family business. That's a common saying.
I've heard that.
Why do you think you and Andrew haven't had like a battle of egos? I think that's the reason that me and my brother Vince, like we are not able to have like synchronization. I'm the bigger brother, so I think I've maybe been too hard on him a little bit, and at the same time, like he's been trying to find his own lane. And you're the little brother of the two. How have you not had a battle of egos? Because I mean, obviously Andrew was the more famous, and like, do you ever have like a competition in your head?
You know what it is? One, it's that I do very well of my own account. So nowadays, a lot of the haters will message me, your brother's got almost 5 million followers, you got 1.3. I'm like, yeah, I've got 1.3 million followers though. Why do I have to add what Andrew has into it?
Yeah.
And all of our, in terms of net worth, it's exactly, all of our businesses, all of our cars, all of our homes are shared, and they always have been. And we made the money before YouTube. We started making money before YouTube. So our net worth is completely equal. But it's not just the fact that I am very secure in and of myself as a man. I'm strong, I'm fit, I had a good fight career, better than anyone who hates on me. I'm richer than anyone who hates on me. Got more followers than 99.9% of the people who hate on me. So the comparing myself with Andrew doesn't do much. But the key to it is, I am proud of Andrew when he does something. He is my brother. Oh, he's the 4-time kickboxing world champion. Oh, Tristian, you're only the 2-time European champion. I don't care if I was a 0 champion. My brother's the 4-time world kickboxing champion. I am happy for him. Mm-hmm. Oh, he's blowing up all over the internet right now. He's exploded far more than me. More people know his name. I am proud that that's my brother and he's doing so well. So it's not just setting your ego aside. Keep the healthy competition. Keep your own personal ego. You and your brother should both be trying to do well for yourselves, independent of comparing each other, comparing to one another. But also, if your brother now launched some stream and had some YouTube channel with 20 million subscribers and you stayed exactly where you are, that doesn't matter. Your brother has a 20 million subscriber YouTube. Fucking give him a round of applause. Give him a pat on the back. Buy that man a fucking drink. Like, in what universe should you be mad about that? People hit me with that all the time. Oh, you mad your brother has more followers than you? No. It's like if Muhammad Ali was your brother. Would you be like, oh, my brother's a better boxer than me, I'm upset? No, you'd be like, my brother's the greatest heavyweight of all time, Muhammad Ali. Like, why would it make you sad? Mm-hmm. So also, put your egos aside. Concentrate on doing your own shit, winning irrespective of comparing yourself. But when he does something well, and when you do something well, you should be proud of one another. And I'm like that with all my friends. That extends to all of my friends. I got a bunch of boys that when they're winning, I'm winning. I'm happy to see it done. My guys will buy new watches, new Rolexes, new suits, new shoes, new cars, new houses, new homes. And I don't think, oh, well, that watch is better than the one I'm currently wearing. I think, fuck it. My boy just bought a $100,000 Rolex. Good for him. Good for him. Those are the 3 words to sum it up.
Maybe it's that the fact that we grew up in the social media era where your life is more publicized more and life could be judged more based on the amount of followers you have. Life is more about numbers than it was when you guys were growing up.
Yeah, maybe, but I just don't look at my life that way. People said, oh, I get it all the time, even for personal friends. Oh, what's the difference now in life that you got all these followers, etc.? Nothing. I'm behind my big walls in my house with exactly the same people, smoking the same cigars, talking interesting topics, having a great time. You know, got beautiful girlfriends. Everything's happy. Okay, more people watch what I do, cool. But like, really, it doesn't matter. I mean, I said, but then again, I've had money since before the internet fame as well. For all the people who think I've made money because we've blown up on YouTube, I posted a photo on my Instagram from 7 years ago. It was a photo of me with an Aston and a Lambo that had 114 likes. I had about 2,000 followers back then, and I was already pushing the supercars. So just be proud of one another, man, and that can go beyond brothers. So that's advice directly to you. But all of you guys watching, you know, your friends, be proud of them. How can I help you? Oh, that's a nice win. Is there anything I can do to assist you in winning further? Because when they get to the top, they drag you up with them. They assist you straight back. You want winners on your team.
When one wins, you all win.
Absolutely.
What's your prediction for the rest of the year with the movement that you and your brother have really started, with everything you're talking about? One sentiment I see a lot with me, and they lump you in a lot, is that that Shneako and Tate it's just a trend. This is gonna fall off soon. It's just they're just saying stuff to be controversial, which I know is bullshit, and you know that's bullshit too. We're not saying things just to be controversial and trigger people. This is actually what we think, and it just happens to be that you can't handle it. But what do you think is going to happen for the rest of the year? Because the growth has exploded. Like I've gained 400,000 subscribers in the last month. I've never seen. I've been on YouTube for 9 years. I used to do like cinematic artsy videos, and then I just recently started streaming, talking to like similar things to you, and it's completely blown up. Where do you think it's going to go?
Optimistic or pessimistic? Optimistic, I'll answer first. Optimistically, all of the rumors and all of the nonsense about us and all the negative talk, new hit pieces keep getting published daily, but I can see people are getting bored of it. They're getting bored of it because the stupid rumors, the bullshit narratives, they're all the same. They've been debunked, cracked, exposed as lies by lots of people, yourself included. Thank you very much. So your audience know it's all bullshit. So there's never going to be a new hit piece. I'm not going to go and commit a mass murder somewhere and there's going to be something new for them to talk about. All these old rumors, it's the hit pieces are the same shit being repeated again and again and again. But the message that me and Andrew are putting out there and the young men we're reaching and the aspirational lifestyle that we are trying to program into men, I would say reprogram, I'll get back to that in a second, that isn't going anywhere. If you were to ask any boy, 7 years old, 8 years old, 9 years old, where do you want to be when you're 25, 30? Where do you want to be? They're going to say, big house, fast car, beautiful wife. That's what they're going to say. Every single one. And slowly, the programming of the Matrix beats this dream out of men.
Yep.
It beats it out of men till they get to my age and they're fat with a woman who doesn't love them, who's unattractive, who's a low-quality person, who drags them down, works a dead-end job, and their wife is in their ear saying, oh, you shouldn't watch Tristian and Andrew Tate. Those guys haven't grown up. Growing up is an analogy for having the aspiration that every boy has beaten out of them and accepting the programming of the Matrix.
Right. I'm
reaching so many young men. My brother's reaching so many young men. You're not going to be able to beat that out of them because they know I've made it. They know where I come from. I've got guys in my hometown, Luton. I get messages from my Luton boys all the time. Hey, man, I'm from the same fucking estate as you. One day I'm going to see you at the top. And as much as I can reply, I say, God bless you, man. I hope to see you there. Good luck. And you're not going to stop that by posting the same rumors about us. Pessimistically, the internet just deletes me. But I don't say anything. That's probably not going to happen. I'm a nice guy, and I think that people's eyes are opening. Even a lot of my old haters. There was a guy, I can't remember his name, but whoever you are, if you're watching, there's a guy who had my brother on his podcast and said, you're a goof, you're a clown, and hung up on him once. He was on a bigger podcast recently saying, you know what, I was wrong. I shouldn't have done that. This Tate guy is spreading a positive message. It's only the real lost causes that are going to hang on to these strings of hate for us. But really, I believe that this message is reinvigorating the spirits of young men. I don't think we're changing the opinions of young men and the aspirations of young men.
Bringing masculinity back.
Yeah, we're bringing it back. It's a wonderful way to live. And you know who's happy being around men like me? Women.
Beautiful women.
Women are. So, like, what's misogynistic? What's wrong? Some really low quality woman will be on the internet talking about how toxic we are, but then loads of lovely, nice women would love to hang around with a guy like me or a guy like my brother, and why shouldn't they? They get treated nicely. I buy them flowers. I open car doors. I'm a total gentleman. So men want that, and the message isn't going anywhere.
And even if you do get deleted, there's enough people that, I mean, most of the publicity you get is not even on your own platform or some other people's platforms. If you get deleted.
Me and Andrew don't have TikTok. Can't delete us from TikTok.
Right.
We're all over TikTok. You can't delete us. We don't have accounts. So I don't know. Good luck. But you know, I'm just out here trying to help people. I'm trying to spread this positive message because I was already rich. We've even to silence the haters. I'm going to do a quick plug for the Hustlers University program. 18 millionaires teaching 18 modern ways of wealth creation, whether it be stock trading, copywriting, and these guys are verified millionaires who I have met and interviewed for the position before the program started. There was, I said, one element of the Hustlers University program where it was an affiliate marketing guy, genius, teaching people how to affiliate marketing, and within that 1/18th of the program, there was an option to affiliate market for Hustlers University too and make more money. The accusations of this is some crazy pyramid scheme, okay, a kid living in his home by himself in rural Utah signs up for $49 a month and now has access to 18 millionaires. That is not a pyramid scheme. But we have shut down the affiliate marketing program now. You can no longer affiliate for HU2, and guess what's going to happen? Nothing. The student number is going to continue to grow. People are going to continue to use it because it's a wonderful resource. But I've had to shut down the affiliate marketing side of this because I don't like these nerds saying it's a pyramid scheme. And it's going to grow and prosper and transform the world regardless of whether you can affiliate for HU2 or not. Sorry, young man, I've taken that out because the haters are too loud, but you're going to make it anyway. There's 18 millionaires in there. I didn't know a single millionaire when I was 15, 16, 17. Not one.
I started my own course, The Creativity Kit, on Seeko.net, and I have the affiliate program too. And they're saying the same thing: multi-level marketing, pyramid scheme. If you think about it, Tristan, isn't the whole economy a pyramid scheme? That seems like such a dumb thing to accuse the affiliate program of. And there's affiliate programs everywhere. How is the whole economy not just one big pyramid scheme?
I mean, we were talking earlier about OnlyFans models. I understand that platform very well. Did you know if an OnlyFans model gets her friends to sign up to OnlyFans, they get a cut of that girl's income? Oh my God, OnlyFans is a pyramid scheme. No, it's not. It is a platform that sells content that is in demand. Like, just because there is an affiliate wing built into it does not mean it's a pyramid scheme. So absolutely ridiculous, but I've put my money where my mouth is, and I'm happy to shut up my haters because I'm already rich. I don't need more money. So I've shut it down. And the program is going to continue to be a top quality, amazing program regardless, because that's just what it is. But I have to shut the haters up as much as I can. So it's one less bullet for the gun.
I think you guys are paying him too much attention. I see Andrew posting on his story a lot when there was the hit piece coming out, trying to say, like, platforms should do something about this guy. TikTok and Instagram needs to do something. And even you now taking down the affiliate program for Hustlers University. It's like, just let him hate. Let him talk.
Yeah, I know, but it's I like challenges. Okay, all right, you're going to take this away? Fine. I don't need my students don't need the affiliate program to make money inside of HU2. And the student number, ever since that's gone away, is just up and up and up. And it always will be. And we retain all the students anyway. It's just a simple, you know, when I was, like I said, I was 18. How many millionaires did I have in my phone that I could contact who were sending me messages and giving me advice? Zero. Everyone who joins now has 18. It really is life-changing. And you know, I'm very proud of that program.
It's the same thing. People are trying to like pirate my course, but I think the main benefit is the Discord community and being able to interact with people who are trying to make it and trying to get out of it. And one sentiment I've heard from everybody in the course is that like my friends are all like playing Fortnite and vaping all day, but now they're in a Discord of all people who are like-minded and want to go get it. And the internet's provided a good platform for that. The people who are talking about this, I've met so many people in the past month who are all trying to go get it, and I know that within a year, we're all going to be on a yacht somewhere throwing money up in the air, and that's what I wanted to be doing when I was a kid. And what you said,
when you make your first million, I'll throw you a party. You could soundbite that. I'll throw you a party when you show me that you've made $1 million.
$1 million net?
Yeah, $1 million net. You could have spent it on shit, but in 1 year, if you show me $1 million of income in a year, I will throw you a congratulations party for making that million.
Mark that.
The $1 million year. Mark
Can I
that.
join the war room for free?
I don't know. You'd have to ask Andrew. Probably not.
Okay,
but if you've made $1 million in the year, what the fuck's the membership fee anyway? Come on.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have anything else to talk about? We've been on for an hour. I want to keep talking to you, but I didn't want to hold you up.
Yeah, I mean, it is 1 a.m. If there are any interesting super chats, I'm not keeping track of them. I'm not reading the chat. If there's any questions that you guys in the chat, I guess, have for me, send them over to Shneako. You know, even if it's just a $1 super chat, so they flag up.
The super chats have not been very good. Very, very bad questions for the most part. People like, I'm doing bad. Can you please read my message? Like, I'm like interrupt the whole conversation to give this guy a stop story.
Tell the Tates to check their DMs. Like, I've seen these before. It's like, check my DMs.
Yeah.
Get a new message every 8 to 10 seconds. Like, there's no checking my DMs.
That's what happens when you stream alone. People like they super chat just trying to talk to you. Like you're in the middle of a whole conversation. They're like, "Yo, open up your Twitter. Go to your email right now." I'm like, bro, I'm in the middle. Like I'm doing a podcast live. Well, this one guy said, "What you say?"
I have something to say about that. Don't leverage your chances of success or your dreams on other people. Now, you get it, I'm sure. I get it massively. My brother gets it so much he can't even use Instagram as a messaging app anymore. When you are messaging me, young men, let me just tell you something. Hey, man, please open my DM. Comment on my picture. Open the DM. And I've occasionally looked. I've got this really great business idea. And listen, if you have a great business idea, you don't need me. Don't pin your hopes of success on other people. Don't look at the Tate brothers. Don't look at Shneako. Don't look at, I don't know, Elon Musk. I hope you're not messaging him because he's busier than I am. And send them stupid messages, hoping that they're going to team up with you. Because if I teamed up with anyone who sends me these messages, I'd make them a millionaire. Now, it might make me an additional $1 million a year, but I don't need the $1 million a year. High-value, rich people don't need to waste their time to make you money. But the positive side of it is this. I'm not your ticket out. Andrew's not your ticket out. So don't message us, but you can be your own ticket out. You and your group of friends, that's the ticket. We're not. We were each other's ticket, and I was my own ticket. And we fucking sat there in an empty room with no electricity, eating our last can of beans, having these conversations for years. How do we make money? And we didn't have the resources you guys have. Stop messaging me. Stop telling me your business ideas. I'm busy. I've got 100 business ideas that I don't have time to implement. Take that business idea, hone it, refine it, team up with your friends, and make it work. I'm not that guy. Be your own ticket out of here.
Well, people don't want to do the hard work. They'd rather you do it because you're already rich. They see you as a skipping stone.
Yeah, basically. So,
someone asked,
young man, don't do that.
Are you a Freemason?
No, that's emergency meeting episode 11. Me and my brother covered a lot of the rumors about us. I have no affiliation with the Freemasons, and I wouldn't even pretend I do to be cool because that's their shit. And, you know, I don't know what they're up to, but I'm sure they're doing their own things, and they don't need people like me out there pretending I'm associated. What I'm not is a faker. I have no affiliation with the Freemasons. Andrew puts his hands like this, and a few people jumped on a rumor recently. I mean, my dad posed like that when he plays chess. No, zero affiliation. So, easy answer. I don't even really know what they do.
Me neither. Someone said, I'm doing sales. Any tips to close more deals?
Yeah. Stop asking me how you close more deals and go and close more deals. You're not going to, you know, it's the art of pretending you're doing something by doing nothing. A good one I get is, hey man, I want to be a kickboxer. Any advice? Why are you writing me messages? Why aren't you in the gym? You know the answer is hit the kickboxing gym, punch that bag, do your push-ups, go running. But you're not running. You're on Instagram waiting for me to reply to you. So you feel like you've done something by asking an accomplished kickboxer how to be a kickboxer. But you've done nothing. Because all I'm going to tell you is shit you already know. Listen to your coach. Go to the gym. I don't know. Talk to your boss. Talk to the other salespeople at your office. I don't even know what you fucking sell. Why are you asking me? Don't ask. There's my advice.
Opinion on psychedelics?
I know a lot of people. I know a lot of successful people who have said psychedelics have opened their mind. Psychedelics have made them see things a different way. but I don't know any high value rich people who have said these psychedelics are what made me successful and rich. Again, I know I preach anti-drug all the time. And I know very high functioning wealthy people who sniff cocaine. I know very high functioning wealthy people who smoke marijuana. That doesn't mean that it's the coke or the marijuana or the psychedelics or whatever drug it is that made them who they are. I smoke cigars. Now, a classic example is every day on Instagram, I'm tagged in 50 stories of young guys with cigars in their mouth saying, yeah, I'm top G like Andrew, or I'm like the talisman. You think the cigar makes me who I am? Seriously? So psychedelics, good. If you live a very happy, successful, fulfilling life, and you wish to take psychedelics to look at things from another angle, good. I won't, and I don't want to, but I don't believe they're going to make you rich or successful. I don't believe they're going to benefit you in any way apart from having a cool experience. This cigar doesn't benefit me in any way. I'm just having a good, yeah.
An LSD trip really actually changed my life. When I was 18, I had stopped making YouTube videos for like 2-3 years. I had started when I was really young, when I was like 14. And then I was going through, I was basically just being lazy. And then this one specific acid trip, like, I don't know if you ever taken psychedelics, but it just makes you confront everything that you're ignoring. Yeah, you don't do drugs. But it made me confront everything. Since then, I've taken it, and honestly, I had a really bad time. Like the last 3-4 times I've taken it, I don't recommend it. It wasn't life changing. It was mostly just like sitting down, being dumb and too high. But this one specific trip, it was a bad trip, really changed my life and made me confront everything that I was ignoring. And that was the next day I started uploading YouTube videos again.
Yeah, well, also, and I'm very happy for you, but I feel like a good long look in the mirror or a conversation with a high value dude who you aspire to be could do exactly the same thing.
It's the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing. I've sat with people and had short conversations with them, and they'd be like, that, come back a few years later, that conversation changed my life. And it's just another way of opening your eyes. But you have the power within yourself to do that without other people, without other influence, without the influence of psychedelics, in my opinion. I mean, you have that. You have that power. Everyone has that power.
Someone said, how can I make money when I have no skills? You could sign up for the Creativity Kit or Hustle University. I think that's a good way to start.
Yeah, I guess so. And you know, find out what you're good at. You have no experience. I wouldn't say you have no skills. I mean, I believe everyone's got to be talented at something.
A lot of people really have no idea what their passions are at all. They spend the amount of distractions, Tristan. I think it's different because you didn't grow up with social media. There's a lot of people who really have no idea what they're even passionate about, because before they even have time to explore their interests, they're already hooked on social media. They're jerking off every day. They're sucked in like before it's even time to have any self-exploration. How do you think that these people should find themselves?
Well, I will tell you a story about me. I don't know. You're probably not old enough, but there was a game called, before Fortnite, before it all existed, the huge game when I was in my late teens, early 20s was Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and then Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
That's how I started doing. I started on Call of Duty.
Okay, good. So I used to play that game, and this is the advice. The advice is hang around with people who see things from the angle, people who have a good mindset. I was with my brother, and I was like, oh, Andrew, I just completed this round. It's 41 kills, 1 death. That's pretty cool. Andrew looks at me from the couch. I swear to God, looks over me and goes, yeah, Tristan, but it doesn't matter, does it? And I went, fuck, it doesn't matter, does it? And I turned that game off. And I don't think I've ever spent more than 10 minutes playing a video game ever since that day. So hang around better people. You know, if you're wasting your life, if you're wasting your talents, if you're sitting there jerking off all day, if you're sitting around dudes who are talking about who their favorite porn star is, leave that group of friends. Cut low-quality people out of your life, and slowly, as you go out into the world and apply yourself at different things that are more useful, you'll probably find out that you're not as useless as you think. Or you might be, in which case, you know, we all need someone to flip the burgers and wash the cars, so I'll tip you heavily, my friend. Don't worry.
How did you find kickboxing, and how old were you?
I was about 14, Andrew was about 15. Luton has nothing to offer. It's a shithole town. And there was a kickboxing gym run by a wonderful person. And I found it, and that's why. If it had been a boxing gym, me and Andrew would have been boxers under the same tuition. If it was a, I don't know, taekwondo gym, we would have been taekwondo black belts. There was a kickboxing gym in my town. The instructor was a wonderful man. The only person other than my father who I would say was like a father figure to me, besides the guy who currently runs the war room, the highest ranking member of the war room. But yeah, that's why. That's just what was in my town. What's in your town, everyone? You know, if there's, you don't have to be a kickboxer. If there's no kickboxing gym in your town and there's just a bunch of clowns who don't know how to fight, don't do that because you're not going to learn shit. I just so happened that there was a great instructor who happened to be in the same town as me, and I was blessed to find him.
People are asking you about your time on Shipwrecked, and do you know what happened to the other people on the show? I watched some of it, but then my stream got taken down for copyright.
Yeah, it's I mean, it was an interesting show. It was at the time, my brother and I were doing okay. I mean, I always had less than $10,000 in the bank at that time, but I was doing okay, and I decided to go on this reality TV show. And the reason I decided to take this plunge was I thought, you know what, private island, you know, in the middle of nowhere, it's an experience I'm not going to be able to replicate no matter how rich I get. I was completely wrong because I could fucking finance 10 shows like that today. But I just thought it was going to be a cool thing to do, and I'm glad I did it. I was never glad I did it until now, because now people are playing back the clips of the 22-year-old Tristian.
And they're saying look, we got the same.
Yeah, we got to get shit done. We got to stay focused. We got to build the shelters. Oh, you can't handle this. You're gonna end up a loser. But I had the right frame of mind. And looking back on my younger self, I'm your age in that show, and I'm like, wow, like that's really cool to see how well I've translated that into the real world and got to where I got. So I did it for I did it for myself. It's the reason I started Tate Confidential. I didn't think that channel was ever going to have a massive following. I thought, you know what? When I'm 60 years old, I can look back at what I was doing and laugh and smile because my life has been a lot of fun. So let's get a cameraman, let's start filming, and let's just start putting stuff out there. And now it's, you know, a massively popular show. But I did it for myself. That's it.
Pierre asked a question. What do you say?
But the other people on the show, I'm in touch with very few of them. It's a little bit of Instagram contact, but it's only started in the last 6 months since I've blown up because people are getting messages. Are you still a brokey? Was Tate right about you? And the people who I was calling losers on the shows, they are brokies today. Aww. And you know, it's poetic justice, isn't it?
You were right. Pierre said, I'm blocked in my business. I know what you're going to answer for this question. He said, I'm blocked in my business. It's not a skill problem, but a mindset. How to eliminate it and grow. How does he
get off? I don't know what your business is. Get off YouTube. Get off you. Don't ask me. I don't know what your business is. I don't know what your business is. When people say, hey man, my girl is doing, I don't know your girl. Well, probably. Like, I don't know her. Why are you asking me on what you should do when she does this and when she does that? What kind of person is she? It's such a broad question. But asking me is the wrong thing to do. Especially because I don't know what the fuck you do. If you were a personal friend of mine, maybe find your personal friends whose opinions you value and go into an in-depth explanation of your problems to them and hope for some positive feedback. That's what I'd say.
Pretty simple answers, pretty simple explanations for these questions.
It's not hard, man. It's not complicated. It is hard, but it's not complicated. How do you get into shape?
It's simple. Like, they had to get in shape, you go to the gym. What do you think is the biggest...
it's hard, but it's simple.
And people just want to go do it fast. How do I do it as fast as possible? How do I get a six-pack right now? What do you think is the biggest mindset change that you need to become a multimillionaire?
You know what? I feel like being on... I never wanted to be a multimillionaire. Andrew once said to me, famously, Tristian, if we could just find a way to make, this is before the internet, if we could just find a way to make like 50, 100 pounds a day from home, that would alleviate a lot of our problems. Start small, because as you climb the mountain and you reach where you wanted to reach, you realize that there are new mountains to climb. There are new mountains to climb for me right now. And I'm at a level that a lot of people can't even dream of getting to. But you see it. It opens new doors when you accomplish the goals that you're aiming for. And it opens your eyes to what's possible from there. So don't think I want to be a multimillionaire. Think, okay, I want some financial independence. I want to work 20 hours at the fast food store instead of 40, but supplement my income from home. Okay, I've done that. Now I have more free time. Where do I go from here? My dream car when I was a year and a bit younger than you was a BMW Z4. Me and my brother have 30 cars now. All of them faster, more expensive, more luxurious than a BMW Z4.
BMW Z4?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's an okay car. I thought if I could just get one of those, and the next car I bought after thinking about buying that car every day was an Aston Martin Vantage, a second-hand Aston Martin. Me and my brother bought it together for £60,000. But I skipped the BMW Z4 stage. Now every time I see one on the road, I smile.
It looks like an Italian guy driving on the Amalfi Coast.
Yeah,
the top down.
It's a nice car. It's not a bad car, but it's just not on my like. I've reached that mountain. I've seen what's possible and aimed higher. That's it. So don't think how am I going to become a multimillionaire. Think of your short-term goals. Make sure your mother works less. Buy yourself some nicer clothes. You know, live in a better apartment, and think of how you can make those things happen. And as you go up in value as a man, you'll learn a lot about yourself, and from then you could tackle bigger goals.
They're asking a lot about if Andrew's going to fight Logan Paul.
The one thing I always say on any podcast that people have me on is don't ask what Andrew would say, what Andrew would do, what Andrew thinks. I'm not Andrew. Andrew's Andrew.
Okay.
So if you want to ask Andrew questions, follow Andrew, watch the podcast Andrew is on, and ask Andrew. Simple. I don't speak for my brother. He doesn't speak for me.
What is the best piece of advice your father has given you? Also, what is your favorite car out of all the ones you own?
My favorite car is my Aston Martin Vanquish S Ultimate. It's 4 years old. It's the red car pinned to the top of my Instagram, if you find it. It's slower than most of my cars, but the driving experience is just wonderful. I absolutely love that vehicle. I don't know why. It's just there's an emotional experience about driving it that I really enjoy. It's not the fastest, but it is absolutely a wonderful machine. The best piece of advice my father ever gave me, I guess, you know, there are hundreds, and I'm trying to think less about what your audience is looking for and more about the things he's told me that I didn't listen to and I should have. I used to play violin very well. And I was 11, 12, 13 years old, and I could really fucking play the violin. Really play.
And you quit kickboxing?
Yeah, when I started kickboxing, I thought, violin's a bit nerdy.
Yeah.
And my dad said, Tristan, if you give this up now, you're going to regret it later in life. Don't be a quitter. That 1 hour extra a day that you're going to fucking play video games or watch TV, just keep playing violin. Do you have any idea how viral I would go on YouTube right now if I could play violin? Not just as well as I could when I was 13, but with 11 years experience on top of that, I can't play shit on the violin. Don't quit. Don't give up. Keep your skill set as broad as possible.
Would you really go viral on YouTube with the violin? Doing what?
No, okay, no, just, all right, now. I don't know. Like, it would just be cool if I could pick up a violin and nail the classical masterpieces. How would that not be cool? I thought it was nerdy when I was a kid. That would be one of the coolest things in the world.
That's the least cool instrument out of all the instruments. Like, you don't get no bitches with the violin.
What? No, exactly.
You don't get with the violin?
Bro, listen, Shneako, I'm going to give you some advice, young man. Just like all suits are the same, let me tell you something. When you start rolling in some of the circles I roll in, okay, the violin wouldn't get me any bitches. I agree. I'm not looking for bitches. If I could play the violin, the fucking ballerinas of the Moscow Ballet would think, ooh, this guy's a G. And believe me, they're more fun to have sex with than the hoes around Miami and New York.
Okay.
So would it get me any bitches? No. I'm not looking for bitches. I could get bitches with the cars. Not interested.
Okay, yeah. Fair point. Russian ballerinas, fair point.
Thank you. And I meet a few occasionally, but, you know, the violin would certainly help.
I'm an astrophotographer, and I have really expensive telescopes. Ask Tristan if I can send... No, shut up. Does Tristan agree with the work 80 hours a week and you'll find success mindset?
I've never even heard that before.
No.
Maybe, but don't spend the 8 hours doing the same thing. I mean, that might apply, but I mean, if you're working at McDonald's, 80 hours a week is going to burn all your free time. And I used to work at McDonald's for 3 years. I ain't shitting on people who work in fast food. I used to do it. But 80 hours a week, do something else. 40 hours a week working, 40 hours a week working on yourself and exploring new ideas. So, but these questions, as interesting as you are as a host, are getting very, very dull.
Yeah,
I think you've asked me.
The last one, it was like, how do I make friends? So I think we asked everything. It was great to have you on, Tristan. It was really nice to meet you and finally talk to you. I'm going to hold you to that. When I get that million, chat,
you do a million.
That too. He clipped that part.
You do $1 million year, I will personally throw you a party to congratulate you. And it doesn't need to be January to December. Just show me 1 month of 1 year, the exact next month. You can start your $1 million year right now.
Bet.
This time next year, if you've made $1 million in income, I will throw you a party as a congratulations. Because
in Romania? Where at?
I can't tell you, bro. It's gonna be a surprise.
Right.
But my parties don't fuck around. Trust me. It's gonna be a good one, and you're gonna have a good time. But yeah, you know, I try to motivate people. That's the essence of my message. I hope everyone who's listened to me today has learned something. I hope I've motivated you young men to do something more positive with your free time. Find me on Instagram, Talisman Tate, and yeah, don't DM me your business ideas. Simple as that.
Leave him alone. It was great to have you on. I'm gonna get a better.
God bless you, Shneako. Have
bro.
a wonderful night, man. Good talking. Bye.
Bye.